Now, I know you've had this happen before where you buy a car and then suddenly everywhere you go, everybody has that car. It's not that suddenly everybody bought the same car, the same dress. It's really you told your subconscious mind that, hey, this is something that's important to me. And so it started noticing all of the places where it saw that thing. And so that's what we're trying to do with affirmations to remind your subconscious mind of where it is that you're going, the life that you're creating for yourself, and really tapping into the power of our subconscious mind through repetition. All right, so in today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you 5 things to create affirmations that actually work. One of the things that I often hear from people when I make suggestions to them to use affirmation as part of their subconscious reprogramming, as part of them stepping into their new identity, as part of them creating the life of their dreams, is, I've tried affirmations before, they don't work. And I'm like, oh, you have you? And what is it that didn't work? And for a lot of them, they're like, oh, well, I tried it and nothing happened. So here's the thing. Let's first understand what is an affirmation and why do we say affirmations or why do we repeat affirmations to ourselves? Well, affirmations are really positive statements. It's something that's saying what it is that we want to create, the life that we want to create for ourselves, the dream that we have for ourselves. And it's something that's meant to be repeated over and over to yourself. And why do we do that? Well, if you understand the subconscious mind, and for those of you who've been here for a minute, you know that we talk about the fact that the subconscious mind controls 95% of our life. 95%. So don't you think you want to tap into that 95% power that you have? And what the subconscious mind understands in terms of programming the subconscious mind is repetition, 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 and also feeling. Those are the 2 ways to really tap into the subconscious mind. And of course, also using hypnotherapy is a great way for you to tap directly into the subconscious mind. But from an everyday perspective, our subconscious mind is really susceptible to repetition and also feelings. Feelings really wire in beliefs, and repetition also wires in beliefs. So that's where affirmations come in. And so if you think about that, if you're trying to achieve a goal, if you're becoming a person who would have the life that you want, then you want to keep reminding your subconscious mind of the direction that you're going. Something else that kicks in here is something called the reticular activating system. Now, I know you've had this happen before where you buy a car and then suddenly everywhere you go, everybody has that car, or you buy a dress and everywhere you go, suddenly everybody has that same dress. It's not that suddenly everybody bought the same car, the same dress. It's really you told your subconscious mind that, hey, this is something that's important to me. And so it started noticing all of the places where it saw that thing. And so that's what we're trying to do with affirmations. That's what the work of affirmations is to remind your subconscious mind of where it is that you're going, the life that you're creating for yourself, and really tapping into the power of our subconscious mind through repetition. So why don't affirmations work for some people? Well, the number one reason that affirmations don't work is because you don't believe it. You don't believe either A, that they work, or B, you don't believe that whatever it is, the affirmation you're saying could actually come true. A huge part of affirmation, a huge part of programming that into your subconscious mind is belief. Do you believe that it is possible? Because there's no point in you saying affirmations for something that you don't believe, because your subconscious mind and then also your conscious mind will be like, BS, BS, don't believe that, don't believe that. And so, of course, it's never going to happen. And so what I want to share with you are 5 steps to creating affirmations that actually work. 5 steps to creating affirmations that'll help you step into the identity of the person that you want to be and to step towards the goals that you're achieving. So what's step 1? Step 1 in this process is be specific. A lot of the affirmations that I hear are, I will be fitter, or I am becoming fitter, or I am becoming wealthier. That's great. But what does that actually mean? Because how will we know when you're fitter or wealthier? Because just a little teeny tiny improvement, well, there you go. You're wealthier or you're fitter. And so it's about being specific, giving your subconscious mind specific goals to go after. I will make $100,000 this year. That's specific. So now you've given the instruction to your subconscious mind for it to look for $100,000 versus giving it the instruction that I will be wealthier, which, well, a dollar means you're wealthier. And so getting specific. But here's the thing. For those of you who are familiar with human design types, listen, I am no expert. This is something very new to me, but I know that there's some people who are specific manifestors and there's some people who are general, who like to get more into the generality of what it'll feel like. As I said, the language of the subconscious mind is repetition and feeling. So the important thing, if it makes you uncomfortable to get specific, is to tap into the feeling. How do I want to feel when I've achieved my goal? And so that's step one. Be specific if that feels good to you. But if being specific with the number feels uncomfortable, then what is it that you want to feel? How do you want to feel? The second step in creating affirmations that actually work is say them in the present tense, as if it's already done. I am, not I am going to be or I will. I am earning $100,000 a year, right? Say it as if it is now. I am, not I will be. Because if you put it in the future, I will be, then that's exactly where your subconscious mind is going to keep it, in the future. So you're always going to be chasing because you will never get to the I will be. And so say it as if it's already done. And a really important part as well of your affirmations is living the affirmation, living as if it is already done, being the person who already has whatever it is that you're looking for. If you're the person who would have $100,000, how would you be? And so acting from that place of, okay, I am $100,000 richer. What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do you go through the world? And so the second point when creating affirmations that actually work is put them in the present tense, as if it's already done. The third thing that's very important when it comes to creating your affirmations is use positive language. The subconscious mind doesn't understand negatives. So when you say, I am not in debt, what your subconscious mind fixes on is debt. That's what it hears is, oh, debt. Let me go fetch her some more debt. And so what you want to focus on is saying things in a positive way. I am calm and relaxed versus I'm not anxious. I am a person who has $100,000 versus, I don't know, like I'm not in debt or I don't have enough money to pay my bills. One that I often hear is people saying, I don't have debt. That's a big one. And so instead of saying, I don't have debt, what you can say is, I am financially abundant. I am financially abundant because, again, the subconscious mind doesn't understand the negative. And so how can you word your affirmation in the positive? That's point 3, use positive language. Number 4 is something that I alluded to at the very beginning, is you got to believe it. It'll only work if you believe it. The affirmation's only going to work if you actually believe what you're saying. If you're saying words from a conscious perspective, but at a subconscious perspective, you're doubting that it's even possible for you, not going to work. And so sometimes we do need that bridge between where we are and where we want to be. And so there's something that my wonderful friend Catherine Zinkina talks about, which is the bridge of believability. And so if I want to be a millionaire, but right now I've only ever made $10,000. What's something that I can say in my affirmations that is a step beyond where I am, a step beyond where I am that is a stretch, but something that is moving me towards the end goal, the big goal of becoming a millionaire? And so it's about allowing ourselves to believe. And sometimes, as well, if it's too much of a stretch, you can also add, I am willing to believe that, right? Adding that allows your mind to, it's almost softening it for your subconscious mind. I am willing to believe that I make $100,000 a year. So you've not said to your subconscious mind, I make $100,000 a year when you're making $10,000 a year. And I don't think your subconscious mind can argue with the fact that I am willing to believe. I am allowing myself to believe. And so sometimes just using that wording of I am willing to believe and then adding your affirmation softens it so that your subconscious mind isn't resisting it. And as you continue to repeat it, and as you start to build the evidence in your life, of course, from taking action, then your subconscious mind will start to be like, yeah, yes, okay. And then you can modify your affirmation to actually say what it is that you want, that I am making $100,000 a year. I make $100,000 a year. So that is number 4, is you gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. For it to come true, you have to believe it. And then the 5th is you gotta repeat the affirmations regularly. As I said, the language of the subconscious mind is repetition, 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 and it is feeling. And so it's really every single time that you get an opportunity to say your affirmations, it's about reminding your subconscious mind, hey, this is where we're going. There are also some really opportune times in your day for you to say your affirmations. Very first thing in the morning when you get up, when you're still kind of in that almost sleepy state, and very last thing at night before you go to bed, when you're in that kind of relaxed brainwave state, because that's when you're closest to your subconscious mind. That's when your conscious mind is almost taking a break, and it allows you to kind of communicate directly with your subconscious mind. So those are 2 great moments in your day, very first thing in the morning, last thing at night, right before you fall asleep, to say your affirmations, to feed that to your subconscious mind. But again, as I said, repetition, repetition, repetition. So every single time throughout the day, you get a moment, say your affirmations to yourself. And a really powerful way to repeat your affirmations is actually to record them, to use the voice note application on your phone. Record yourself saying your affirmations and then listening to them as you're going throughout your day or when you have a few spare moments. Listening to that, there's such power in hearing your voice declaring those affirmations. So I wanted to give you those 5 tips for you to create affirmations that actually work, affirmations that are going to move you towards whatever the goals are that you're working on. So real quick recap. Number 1, be specific. Number 2, use the present tense. Number 3, always frame them in positive language. Number 4, gotta believe it to see it. And number 5, repetition, repetition, repetition. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode of the Worthy Podcast. And if you found this podcast episode useful, please share it with a friend. And I would also be so grateful if you could leave a review, whatever platform it is that you're consuming this on. And as always, as I always remind you, you are worthy. You are worthy to be, you are worthy to do, and you are worthy to have anything and everything your heart desires. I'll see you next time.